client who recently purchased a list of prospects that he hopes to turn into customers. This list is a spreadsheet, and he's a little hesitant to perform a typical import into ACT with this list because it contains some atypical information and fields. So he called me to see if I can help, and the first thing I want to do is look at his list just to see if I can perform a custom data import to bring those prospective customers into his ACT database. Let's take a look at this spreadsheet. It's called ACT Custom Contact Import, and at first glance I can see that the header row contains some fields that I don't recognize as something we use in ACT. First, we see these columns that say mailing address, mailing city, mailing state, and so on. We know ACT has corresponding fields for these, but it might be tricky trying to get it to recognize them as identical. Secondly, we also have a recognition level header, and I don't have any idea what that's for. So there are some problematic areas, but with a custom data import, I know I can certainly work through those to get to a successful import. So I'm going to close this spreadsheet, and let's go back to ACT. From here, I'll go to the File menu and choose Import. This launches the import wizard, so I will skip to the next screen here. And the type of file I want to import is going to be an Excel file. Now let's browse to the location of it, choose the file, and click Open. Now I can click Next. These are going to be contact records, so I'll leave that selected and click Next. And now I'm going to choose to do a custom import. And let's click Next again. ACT wants to know if I should import the first record. Well, since that first row in the spreadsheet is a header row, I don't want to import that as a contact record. So I'm going to leave this box unchecked. We don't want to import the header row. Now ACT has taken a brief look at the Excel file to try and match up the columns from the file to the fields in my database. We can see that some of these are matched, like company, name to company, email to email, and so on. But there are some others that are missing. For example, mailing zip. I can fix that really quickly by using the drop-down on the right, scroll all the way down and choose zip code. That way the mailing zip column from my file matches to the zip code field in ACT. I'll do that again with the phone number field. I'll match that to phone. And phone extension should just be extension. And now for recognition level, I know that we don't already have a corresponding field in ACT for this column. So I'm going to choose from the drop-down, Create New ACT Field, so that we can capture this information from the spreadsheet. If you ever make a mistake mapping any of these fields, you can always click the Clear Map button to start over. And if we think that this client is going to be purchasing additional lists like this again, it might be a good idea to use the Save Map button in order to bypass this step of mapping fields from the spreadsheet to fields in ACT. But in this example, I'm just going to move to the next step where ACT wants to know about this new field I'm creating called recognition level. First, it wants to know the name and the length in characters of this field. I'm going to leave most of this the same, except I'm going to put a space in the name of the field, and I guess I'll just leave a field length of 50 for now. Now I'll click Next. And if I wanted to select merge options for here, I could, but I'm going to skip that step and just click Import. Now ACT is going to import the list based on my customized settings, and because I've added a new field called recognition level, ACT is going to ask me if I'd like to modify my layout now. Normally I would say yes to this and then find a place for that recognition level to appear on the contact details screen, but we've already dealt with layouts in a different exercise, so I'm just going to say no. And now I'll click Finish. Now just to verify, I'm going to look up one of the contacts, Mark Cannell, who was on the spreadsheet. And here I can see that his information has been imported successfully into ACT. So we've done what our client requested. We've taken a slightly unusual Excel spreadsheet and we figured out a way to import it to ACT by using a custom data import.